Hi, how's it going?
I'm Livia from Wheatonopolis.
Okay, cool.
So we're a fan-based site, and we follow all the interesting shows.
Oh,
so
good.
You have
I hope
joined
you
our
qualify for interesting
Yes,
show.
you have joined our family, and
We're so happy to be in anybody's family, yes.
So the first question I have, I'm kind of excited about, because you guys do all the little psych outs where they sing. You do the great commercials, which I thought the Private Eyes was fantastic. By the way, kept rewinding it and watching it again. So the question is, when is the musical episode happening?
It's all on my shoulders now because we got the okay at Comic-Con from our president of the studio to do a musical episode last year, and I said, all right, I want to write the songs, I want to write the episode. So now we're breaking episodes. We've got about half of the season sort of figured out, and that's like, oh my God, musical, I have to figure it out. So I'm hoping that it's this season. It would be in the back half of this season. The next episode I'm going to direct is episode 11, which shoots in August, I believe. So it would shoot then and probably air in the spring if I can get my act together.
Well, we're very excited. I mean,
Yeah.
that's like, because you have a unique cast where everyone can sing, as far as I can tell. With
Yeah,
all the psych
no,
outs.
they're all immensely talented. It's like Maggie played bass, at one point, and James is a guitarist, and so we all sort of have a certain degree of musical talent. I mean, Dulé is far more talented than any of us, and he's going to dance with Tim in the first one we're shooting next week. So we have like all this sort of talent that we need to, find a way to utilize, and I guess it's on my shoulders.
Well, since you just said you broke about maybe half the season, can you give us any clues? Anything you can tell us about what's coming up?
We're doing UFOs. We're doing Kung Fu. That's the first one I'm directing in about 3 weeks. And that's really fun, and that's been on my list of, I have dream ideas each year. Last year, the dream ideas I wanted to do were Jaws. We did a shark episode. I also wanted to do, I've always had the idea that we should do, the episode that's playing right now on the screen in there is the Juliet episode, and I always wanted to do an episode that started with a flashback with one of our other cast members, and to see how they're like, and have something from their past come back, and it was really fun, and it turned out to be the Psych version of a romantic comedy, and it was one of the great experiences I've ever had on the show.
It's one of my favorite episodes, too.
So thank you. It was so much fun to do. So for me, it's all about wish fulfillment. So it's like, all right, I did my dinosaur episode, I did my Jaws episode. We had Hitchcock on the board for a while, and that turned into the Yang middle of the trilogy. So we're doing that too. So that's the one that we haven't figured out yet. So we know certain things, but it's like we've built up so much in that episode. It's like, wow, okay, at the end of the season we're going to have a lot to do. And then we're doing Twin Peaks, which is James's baby. We're not going to do Twin Peaks, but we're going to do Weird Town and all that stuff. And what we'd like to
donuts?
do, certainly there should be some lady carrying a log. There should be
a dwarf.
Some of those elements. It should be something that if you've never seen Twin Peaks, you have no idea what's going on, and it doesn't matter. You still enjoy the episode. But if you've seen Twin Peaks, you're like, oh my God, how many references are they putting into it? And it'll be sort of a labor of love, because it was a show that was really important to sort of creatively letting like James and myself sort of realize the possibilities of television and how much you can break the boundaries.
As you go forward, do you think you'll do a little more serialized, just a touch? Not like, we're not talking like Lost serialized, but like having some plot points kind of move forward as you go forward.
Yeah, we do that. I call them mini arcs, and I like that. I like that a lot. Then the network wants to move an episode front or back, and then it's like, oh my God, well, hold on a second, she's over here in this episode. So you get locked into sort of the sequencing of things. But yeah, we do have mini arcs, and there's some signposts that we really want to hit this year. And we're a detective show, so most detective shows, it doesn't matter what happened last week. But in our show, there's kind of a lot of character development. When you look at where Lassiter started at the beginning of the show and where he is now, and Sean's relationship with Henry. So it's one of those things where we kind of are a little tighter on which episodes have to air when. And I'm shooting the season premiere, and we're shooting it third. And I hope they like it, because there's no way to move anything else in front of it, because something happens in the first episode that dictates what happens in 2 and 3 and 4.
That's great.
So,
Okay, my only last quibble is where the heck do you guys hide those pineapples? Because I have been very, very frustrated looking for them in every episode, and I swear to God, it's like second season, I could find them. And now this season, during all of last season, I could not find a pineapple.
Sometimes they're so obvious that I'm like, oh my God. And it usually comes down to the production meeting. And they'll say, okay, we're going to put the pineapple here. The one that was the hardest for me is an episode that I wrote, and I had no call over it, but it was in the Jaws episode.
Right.
I co-wrote it with Tim Meltrigger, and James holds up the sunscreen, and the sunscreen label, the background of the label, is a pineapple. I'm like, who's going to see that?
So you mean, I was actually thinking that every time they show a pineapple, it's a real pineapple. Because sometimes
like in Bounty Hunters, they were on the pineapple level of the parking garage, or pineapples there. My favorite one is another episode that I directed. It was Extradition, British Columbia, the episode where they went to Canada, and it's in the very last scene where they're having like a romantic walk, and there's a balloon animal artist, and on the table, the balloon animal artist has made a pineapple balloon. So it's really cool. And
I have to get better at this.
It's hard, and sometimes, here's the worst thing is, we'll shoot one, and then that scene gets cut out for one reason or not, and it's like, okay, there's no pineapple in this episode. It's like, I don't even know where the episode is in Barry Juliet episode. I don't even know where the pineapple is.
That will be my mission. Locate the
pineapple. You know where it is? It's the biscuit lady has the pineapples on her cart. So Lasser's hiding from. All right, see, I didn't know.
All right, thank you
very much. So thank you so much. And you know, we feel like we're a show that has grown on support from people like you, and it's really important to us to have us become part of your family, and you know, we're sort of the goodwill of others. We want to latch on to as many people and get the word out on a grassroots way. So I really appreciate you people and the kind of sites that you guys have, and I'm very happy. I think I just went on too long.
No, you did great. You know, I just want to say I really enjoy the guest stars you have. I mean, like you mentioned, Bounty Hunters, Kevin Sorbo.
Oh my God.
With the winking. It's still me.
That was so funny. Andy Berman, who's one of our best writers, always comes up with the goofy, funny thing, and he had that thing in the first script. My favorite thing is Sean and Gus. Andy's always obsessed with what's the clothes that they wear. He always wants them to go to a costume shop or one thing or another. And he was so concentrating on the vest that Sorbo wore. And the little wrist things.
The gauntlets,
Yeah, and my favorite joke in that show is like, we're going to get those wrist things too. I mean, we're not going to get them in your size, you know, man, large maybe, you know, and he says maybe ladies medium.
Yeah.
Or ladies large, or whatever it was. I love those kind of jokes.
Yeah. I have an idea for you.
Okay. We might be doing it already.
Well, it's possibly should. Maybe you did and I forgot. Okay, so you've done Private Eye, you've done Ebony and Ivory.
Oh, okay.
Watching the detectives.
Oh yeah, a little Elvis Costello. That'd be fantastic.
Yes, right?
I love it. Let's get the marketing people on that. That actually is not a bad idea. I mean, now I guess we have to do another one. There's sort of symmetry that goes along with all that. So I would love to.
They are so awesome.
Yeah, those are really fun spots.
Yeah.
I call the Men at Work Land Down Under.
Land Down Under. That's another fun song too. You know, that song was 20, 30 years later. They just sued Colin Hay and Men at Work it was based on a children's song or something from the 40s.
What?
I don't know what it was, but it was crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so I don't know if they'll be locked up in rights. Oh my gosh, there's someone else waiting.
Yeah.
I thought I was. I'm sorry. I tend to talk.
I just wanted to
I am a nightmare when it comes. Okay, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.